to my channel. Welcome back. Okay, so previously I've been sharing the life lessons that I learned from my skincare journey, from my pimple and acne journey. And today we have a different, interesting, exciting topic that I want to share with you. Yes, we are still going to continue with our previous series. It's just that today I've been reflecting on the struggles that I faced after graduating and the lessons that I learned from that. Okay, so I graduated in 2021 from NAST in Blawayo, and by the time that I graduated, the virus COVID-19 was not completely over. So we were restricted from graduating at the main campus. Instead, we met as program groups in different towns of our choice to celebrate the graduation. Some they met in Chirezi, Wange, Kwekwe, Masvingo, and my program mates and I met in Harare at a certain lodge. I don't remember the name, but it's a beautiful lodge. And it was exciting and interesting. Like we enjoyed, we felt free, unlike being on campus where you're monitored. Like we really enjoyed. It was nice. Okay. So let me give you a brief summary on my school life so that you understand where I'm coming from. Okay. So throughout my school life, from high school, primary to university, I thank God that I didn't struggle financially or otherwise. Like it was smooth. The thing is, I had support from different corners. I had support from my mom, from my sisters, from my aunties, uncles, and other relatives that played a big role in my life. It's not like I had soft life or I was being spoiled. I even did not have it all, but I just thank God that my family ensured that I had everything that I needed throughout my school life, and I'm grateful. I'm really grateful for that, and I thank God for that. And when I graduated, my two sisters were already working, which means that I always had pocket money. The advantages of being the last born, you know. Okay, so I traveled to Harare to celebrate the graduation with my fellow graduates. I remember I picked 2 or 3 dresses. Because the plan was I was going to spend a week or less in Harare and then return home. In Harare, I stayed with my sister who was working in Harare at the time. Okay, so I went for the celebration in Harare. We celebrated on a Friday, and went for the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. Then the following Monday, I began applying for jobs. I had initially told my family back home that I would just drop off my CVs at various companies and then return home afterwards. Then I needed responses from the companies. So I started applying Monday, Tuesday with my friends there. You know, pressure after graduation, you feel like And then by Wednesday I was called for an interview and I got the job. I started working on Friday that week, and I felt grateful, especially considering Zimbabwe's situation of employment struggles. Like I found a job within a week after graduating. I even told friends and family that I got a job. Little did I know that it was a voluntary work. And so my first day at work, it was very overwhelming. The manager just handed me the keys to the office, telling me that I had to figure everything out on my own as an accountant. The post was for an accounting graduate trainee. I thought that I was going to have a supervisor, but no. I didn't have a supervisor. I didn't have guidance. I was just alone in that whole office, and I felt pressured to have an entire office with limited supervision, and with the little experience from attachment that I had. I struggled, and the guy could see that I was struggling, and I think that's the reason why he didn't give me a contract form to sign. He was just postponing. You were going to sign, you were going to sign, and I was patient because I needed the job. And imagine, I was using my own money for transportation to work and from work and for lunch with no salary at month end. That was not good. And that's when I realized that the industry can be harsh, it can be tough. And despite that, I continued going to work, hoping that he would pay me eventually. I was patient. I didn't want to surrender. Like, I wanted to learn to navigate the challenges of becoming an adult alone. Okay, I didn't want to go back home. Not that I didn't enjoy staying at home. No, home was the best. But what I didn't want was going back to relying on my mom for financial support. Like asking money for airtime, asking money for hair, for little things, asking money for a dress. I no longer wanted that. I was eager to grow, to become independent, and to take care of myself. So that's the reason why I didn't want to surrender. Okay. So yeah, I didn't stop applying for other jobs, and I prayed and prayed. Unfortunately, I found a better opportunity, a better job in Harare again, and then I left my first job for a second one that paid me at least for the first few months. The challenge, the struggle is real. Like the industry is sometimes it's harsh. So the struggles that I faced after graduating by that stage is, number one, the first challenge that I faced was transitioning from being a dependent child to an independent adult. As the last born, I was always the kid in the family. I was treated as the child of the family. And then, but by the time I graduated, I finished my last semester, I realized it was time to stop being a child and it's now time to grow up. Like that transition stage, it was difficult for me because no one prepares you for that stage and no one tells you about it. You just have to realize it yourself, especially us last-borns. I think for first-borns it's a bit easier. Number two, I faced disappointment. My first job really disappointed me. Like, I thought Grace had found me Kwanabasa a week within a week that graduated. Little did I know that I was doing voluntary work. I was disappointed. Number three, I also faced the reality that desperate measures call for desperate measures. Like continuing to go to work at the end of the day, it was my loss. The transport money and food money that I used and didn't get a cent afterwards. Even right now, I still don't know why I was punishing myself, because I could have gone back home and waited for a proper job. But hey, I am stubborn sometimes, because in the challenges, when I put my mind on something, I don't surrender easily. I go for it until that one has been. Okay, so yeah, what kept me going through my struggles? Number one, the thing that kept me going is prayer. It gave me faith that I was going to get a good paying job, and I realized that desperate times, they make you a prayer warrior. I prayed, I fasted, And yeah, hope, it kept me going. The verse say, "Good all things work together for your good." It was my favorite verse. Papa, I would tell myself that all things are working together for my good. Yeah. And the lessons that I learned from my story that can help someone, that I learned from the struggles that I faced after graduation, the lessons that I learned to embrace independence. Like, I learned that sometimes we must not be afraid to spread our wings. Like when I graduated from school, I traveled to Harare to celebrate the graduation with my fellow graduates. And that was the beginning of my journey to independence, to growing up. I learned that life sometimes it can be unpredictable. Like, I thought my first job was a dream come true. I thought that grace had found me, but it turned out to be unpaid work. I worked for a whole month without pay, using my own money for transportation and for lunch. And instead of giving up, I persevered, and continued applying for other jobs. I didn't give up, I continued. And yeah, that's the lesson that I learned, kushingirira. In the Bible says we also glory in our sufferings because we know that suffering produces perseverance. Suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance, character. And character produces hope. That's Romans chapter 5, verse number 3 to 4. This Bible verse, it highlights the value of perseverance in overcoming uncertainty. And another lesson that I learned is self-awareness. I learned self-awareness. I learned that we need to recognize when it's time for change. And me, as the last born, I was always treated as a child. But during that stage, when I graduated, I realized that it was time to grow. It was no longer time to remain being treated as the kid, and take responsibility for my life. So we also have a Bible verse that says, when I was a child, I talked like a child, I thought like a child, I reasoned like a child, and when I become a man, I put the ways of childhood behind me. Okay, it's in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse number 11. This verse, it emphasizes the importance of self-awareness in personal growth, that we must realize when it's time to change. We must be able to realize that, okay, I now need to change and improve in areas that you need to improve. I also learned the importance of having faith and hope, to hold on to hope. During that difficult time, I found strength in prayer. And my favorite verse that I told you about, Irimana Romans chapter 8, verse number 28, that says, all things work together for my good. That verse, it gave me faith that I will find a job. I was secure, a well-paying job. I had hope. Okay, and the Bible also says, may the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in Him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. In Romans chapter 15, verse number 13. So yeah, this verse, it also highlights the power of faith, the power of having hope in overcoming the challenges in life and the struggles in life. Okay. Last but not least, I learned the importance of having family support. Like, it's important to surround yourself with positive influences. It's healthy. My sisters who were already working by the time that I graduated, they inspired me to pursue my goals. Like seeing them, seeing people you grew up with, making it in life, and it gave me hope. And staying with my sister in Harare, she also provided emotional support. So yeah, I hope these lessons are going to help someone. And I know some of you might think she makes it sound like she had it all figured out, but honestly the truth is I didn't. I stumbled, I struggled, and I learned. I'm still learning, I'm still struggling, I'm still figuring things out, but I'm sharing my story not because I have arrived, but because I believe that's my journey with all its twists and turns. It can offer hope and encouragement to someone else. Yeah, I hope this is going to help someone. And thank you guys for watching. Thank you for taking your time to click on this video. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, share, and like this video. Until next time, in the next video I'm going to continue with my story. Yeah, my life after the struggles that I faced after graduating. Okay, so stay tuned. Bye.